أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدنا علما آمين يا رب العالمين. So, first of all, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today we will be doing another irregularity, Missal. And Missal, we did Mahmuz in the previous sessions. Alhamdulillah, that was completed. We did Mahmuzul Fa, Mahmuzul Ain, and Mahmuzul Lam, and the Mujarrad and the Mazid, 3 families in it. So Alhamdulillah, we've covered Mahmuz to the full. So inshallah, today we will be starting Mithal. This is an irregularity based on one of the root letters being a hurf illa. So hurf illa are weak letters, and they are alif, waw, and ya. Now alif is a weak letter, but it can never be a root letter. So when we see alif in a word, it is usually there hiding a waw or a ya behind it. Waw and ya can be root letters. Now, on the basis of these being root letters, there are multiple irregularities which we will discuss one by one. Mithaal is the first one. And here what happens is that the first root letter will be a waw or a ya. Okay. Any questions in this? Anything that was not clear?
Okay.
Okay. So if, let me just, if the first root letter is a waw, then we call that Missal Vavi. So as we saw that ya and waw can be root letters. So if the first root letter is a waw, the fa kalma is a waw. So we will say it is Missal Vavi. Similarly, if the first root letter is a ya, then we call it Missal Yayi. Okay? So Missal has 2 categories. If the first root letter is waw, then it is Missal Vavi. And if it is a ya, then it is Missal Yayi. Now, the most common words are from Missal Vavi. And Mithaal Yagi is not very frequently used, so there are less root letters that belong to this category. So we will take examples of both, inshallah, and do the Sarf Saghir and Kabir. Any questions?
No, thank you.
So let's do Missal Vavi first. And there are many combinations. There are many words that come from this category. The Sarf Saghir that is done in the book on chapter 6 of your surf book, dream book. The word is wa'ada. To make a promise. And this word, as I say to you, if you come across a fail, you have to have some information about it in order to make the surface of it. So first is the meaning. Sorry. First is the meaning, then the bab. So this comes from Bab Daraba family. Okay. Now, Missal Vavi in the F1 family, Mujarrad, in the past tense, this is active past tense. Has no changes. Why? Because the irregularity is in the beginning of the word and the rest is normal. So where do the changings happen in a past tense? At the beginning or at the end?
Ending.
Ending, exactly. So because the irregularity is the first fa kalma and the ain and the dal are normal word letters, so the whole past tense, active past tense will be normal, has no changes. It is normal. So can someone do the conjugation for wahada?
Can I?
Yes, please.
وعد وعد وعدوا وعدت وعدتا وعدنا وعدت وعدتما وعدتم وعدتي وعدتما وعدتنا وعدنا وعدني وعدت وعدنا.
Excellent. So you see all the changes are coming at the end. So they are not changed. There's no special mixing of the letters or changing of the letters, nothing of the sort. So active past tense in Missal Vavi is completely normal. There are no changes. Okay. Now, we know it is from Bab Daraba. So Bab Daraba is Fa'ala Yaf'ilu, right? Daraba Yadribu. So Wa'ada is the past tense. Yes. Yaw'idu. This was the original Fi'l Mudari'. But remember that one of the main reasons why irregular surf is a little bit tricky is that the Arabs want a very, very smooth pronunciation. They dislike sounds like ew or ow in a word. So what they do is that they change the word. They either drop a letter or they exchange a letter from another. Those are some rules that we need to see. So here, yaw'idu, the yaw sound did not sit well with the Arabs. So what did they do? This wow, this is a weak letter. And why do we say it's a weak letter? Because it can be dropped. And the Arabs dropped this wow, and we got ya'idu. So ya'idu is more easily, more smoothly pronounced than yaw'idu. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get this change? The only thing they did
Yes.
was they canceled the wow. That's it. So instead of saying yaw'idu, we say ya'idu. So the active present tense is ya'idu. If you see in the surf book, there are points given, and the points, the first one is the wow is dropped in the mudare, therefore it does not appear in the amar or nahi. Because amar and nahi in the sarf saghir are made from the present tense, active present tense. So because the wow is dropped in the active present tense, it will not show up in the amar or the nahi. We will get to that inshallah when we get there. So can somebody do the conjugation for ya'idu?
Ya'idu, ya'idu, ya'iduna,
Ya'idani.
ya'idani, ya'idu, ya'idani, ya'iduna, ta'idu, ta'idani, ya'idna, ta'idu, ta'idani, ta'iduna, ta'idina, ta'idani, ta'idna,
Excellent.
Aid, aidu, naidu.
Excellent. So you see, the only change that happened was the dropping of the wow from the mudare. The rest of the mudare, all the changes are happening here and here, in the beginning and in the end. And because there is no wow, so it remains normal. So the past tense, active past tense, there are no changes at all. Active present tense, only the wow, the weak letter is dropped. Okay, you can write these points to remember. Is this clear?
Yes,
Yes, thank you.
So you have wa'ada, ya'idu. Now comes the masdar. So masdar of Missal Vavi are two. There are two masdars for Missal Vavi. The first one we have to learn. There are no set patterns for that. The second masdar is on the scale of ilatan. Okay. So remember, in the family one, there are no set patterns in the masdars. But in Missal Vavi, there are always two masdars. One of them, we have to see the dictionary, we have to learn. There are no set patterns. For the other one, the set pattern is ilatan. So wa'ada ya'idu. The first one is wa'adan. This we have to see the dictionary And we have to ask the Arabs, and whatever they tell us, we have to just remember it as is. But the second one is ilatan. So here it will be wa'idatan. It is fa'ilatan. So wa'idatan. This is waw for and. This is not part of the masdar. Sorry. So it is aidatan. This is the masdar and this is the masdar. Is this clear? So for example, if you do wajada,
Oh, you said there's three. That's it.
yes, that's it. The scale is ailatan. Okay, let me see the first one in. Okay, so like
Oh, follow the
wajada.
pattern. You mean follow the pattern ilatan like that, lah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Wajada. Another word is yajidu, right? This is also wow, Missal Vavi. So the first one is wujudan, right? It is completely, I apologize. I keep on hitting out something and it appears. Okay, so wujudan is completely different from wa'dan. Because this we have to see the dictionary, how the Arabs used it, and we have to learn the pattern. But the second is
Jidatan.
jidatan. Yes. On the pattern of ilatan.
This wow, what you have written in middle is what? And.
Yes, this is an ataf.
Okay.
This is not part of the masdar.
So you don't have the fa kalima in the second one, second masdar?
No, no.
Okay.
The wow will not be there.
Ilatan.
That's why there's no fa here. Right? If the scale had a fa, then you would have had to put the wow there.
Yeah.
Okay. This is clear.
Yes.
And do you know how we do the conjugation for masdar?
Yeah.
The first two columns are from masculine, the singular and the dual, and the third is from feminine, plural.
Excellent. Only 3 rows are followed from the Muslim chart. Excellent. So, wa'adun, wa'adan, wa'adin, wa'adani, wa'adaini, wa'adaini, wa'adatu, wa'adatin, wa'adatin. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. This was the masdar. Now comes fahuwa, the ism file. Are we doing mujarrad or mazid fi?
We are doing mujarrad.
Mujarrad.
So
And
fa'idun.
mujarrad ism file. Yes, excellent.
Fa'idun.
Wa'idun. Excellent. And wa'idun will follow.
So wa'idun meaning is what? One who makes the promise.
Yes. So it follows the fa'ilun pattern, and the whole Muslim chart. You can do the whole Muslim chart for ism file.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a second. This line is clear. The first one, wa'ada ya'idu wa'adan wa'idatan fahuwa wa'idun. This was the active line. Now,
And excuse me,
yes,
sister, you have the conjugation for the second masdar also?
yes, idatun,
Feminine. It is feminine, so you have whole feminine table only.
yes,
Idatan.
yes.
Okay.
So it will be aidatun, aidatan, aidatin, aidatan. Yes.
Idataini, datin.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Got it. Alhamdulillah.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. So now we will go to the passive line. So wa'ada was your active past tense, and you have to make the passive past tense from the active. So ui sound, what will it be?
Uida.
Wu'ida.
Bu'ida.
No, don't stretch the wu,
Okay.
because if you stretch the wu, it will be like this,
Second verb.
right? So you're changing the whole word. That's why tajweed, when we do tajweed, why do they stress about where to stretch, where not to stretch? Because if you don't stretch where a letter is, you might completely ignore that letter, or you might add a letter which was not there. So that changes the conjugation of the word, and it changes the meaning of the word, right?
Yeah.
So there is no stretching here. Wu'ida. Very fast. Wu'ida. Yes. Wow. Wu'ida. Okay. So wu'ida is a passive past tense, and similar to wa'ada, the conjugation will be normal. Why? Because the irregularity is the fa kalma, and all the changes that are happening are to the lam kalma. So nothing special here, no changes, nothing. This is completely normal. So wu'ida is passive past tense, and it is completely normal. Now, the next is passive present tense. So remember, we said that it is daraba yadribu. So it was wa'ada and ya'idu. The waw was dropped here. But when we make passive present tense,
Take it back.
yes, the waw
Because it sounds
returns. Okay? So it happens that from ya'idu, it becomes
you.
yaw'adu. Sorry, yu'adu. U'asan. Yes. Because when you put a dhamma here, because of the u'a sound, then there is no need to remove the waw, because waw likes dhamma. So similar letters like similar harakas. If you have a letter with a fatha, and after it you have a weak letter, it is usually changed with an alif. If a letter has a kasra, after that you have a weak letter, that weak letter usually changes to ya. Similarly, if you have a letter that has dhamma, and after that there was a weak letter, so most probably that weak letter will be changed. If it is waw, it will stay waw. If it isn't, it will be changed to waw. So ya'idu, because it was yaw'idu, So that's why the waw was dropped. But here the waw likes the dhamma, so it came back. So the only changes that we are seeing are in the present tenses. Is this clear how this happened?
Yes.
So passive, past tense, sorry, present tense, is yu'adu. Wow returns. Can somebody do the conjugation yu'adu?
Yu'adu, yu'adani, yu'aduna. Tu'adu, tu'adani, yu'adna. Tu'adani, tu'aduna.
Mm.
Tu'adina,
Mm.
tu'adani, tu'adna.
Excellent.
U'adu, nu'adu.
Excellent. Excellent. So the only change happened was that the wow returned, and the rest of the changes that are happening in the mudare letter and at the ending remain normal.
So the ayat and it became, what was the last one? For me.
Sorry, didn't get your question.
The Anna. For Anna was what?
Ana. Ana is u'adu.
Oh, okay. It's Uad.
Okay. This is Hamza Qata. This does not fall. This does not become silent or anything. It is always there.
Why not ah?
U'adu. Why not?
Ah.
Because this is passive. The
Oh,
mudare
yeah.
letter will always
Yeah,
have
sorry.
dhamma.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
This is why we are reviewing. So everything comes back, inshallah. Okay. The masdar remains the same. So it will be the same for the passive line. And then for huwa, now we have to do ism maf'ul. And ism maf'ul is on the pattern of, in the Mujarrad families, is on the pattern of maf'ulun.
Maf'ulun.
So what will be the
Maw'udun.
excellent? Maw'udun, right? No change, this is normal.
That which is promised.
Yes. And it is used in the Quran as well, right?
Yes.
Yawm maw'ud.
The day
Okay.
which is promised. The
Yes.
promised day.
Yes. And it will follow the whole
Masculine
Muslim
chart.
chart,
Masculine chart.
right?
Yes.
So wa'ida yu'adu wa'dan wa'idatan fahuwa maw'udun. So the passive line is also done.
Okay.
Any questions till now?
No.
Alhamdulillah. Now, wal amru minhu. So we have to make amar from what? What do we make amar from?
From
Active.
Antasar.
Yes.
Active present tense.
present tense. Exactly.
The
So-
6 anta.
Right. So we will take ya'idu, and because amar is only made from anta, so we will make it the anta version. Ta'idu. This is the first step. Then what do we do?
Then make it lightest.
Yes.
Ta'id.
Ta'id. And then what do we do?
Drop the ta.
Yes.
Id.
Can we read this by itself?
Yes.
So no helper alif is needed. Okay. And what will be the conjugation for Aid?
Id, ida, idu, idi, ida, idn, idna.
Excellent. Aidana. So this is the fi'l amr conjugation. Because the mudare, because active present tense did not have wow, so the amr will also not have the wow. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, thanks.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. وَالنَّهْيُ عَنْهُ. This is also made from active
Sentence.
present tense.
Anta tense.
So we will take ya'idu. The first step is anta version.
Ta'id.
Then
Make it lightest. Put a lam. Add.
add a la. La ta'id.
La ta'id. La ta'id.
What will be the conjugation?
La ta'id, la ta'ida, la ta'idu, la ta'idi, la ta'ida, la ta'idna.
Yes, excellent. Okay. Similarly, because the active present tense did not have a wow, so the fail nahi will also not have a wow. And ism zarf in Mujarrad families have three patterns. What are those three patterns? Maf'alun,
Ilun, maf'alatun.
yeah. So just change the fa'in lam with the waw ain dal, and what will it become?
Maw'adun, maw'idun, maw'adatun.
Yes. And this will also follow the conjugation like the masdar. So you have the masculine singular and dual and the feminine plural only. So in the family one, the small families, the ismi zarf will always be on the pattern of maf'alun, maf'ilun, maf'alatun. Right? Now the last line given in the book is ism ala, the instrument. And it also has 3 scales. This is,
مفعال
yes, mif'alun, mif'alatun, and mif'al. In the Mujarrad families, you just have to learn this pattern. So what will it be?
ميو عدن.
Exactly. And remember, the Arabs don't like how EU sounds. Okay?
ميو
So because there is a kasra before the weak letter, it gets changed into ya.
مي عدن.
Exactly. Similarly,
ميو
mif'adatun.
عدد. Sorry, مي عدد.
Exactly. Then mi'adun.
عدد. ميعاد.
Exactly. Mi'adun is also used in the
Quran.
Quran. So because of the U sound, the wow gets changed into ya because the letter before it
Is kasra.
has kasra, and kasra always likes ya better. So one trick to know how things change is first put the letters as is. So we did miv I dun, and then we saw what changes to make. Similarly, if you come across any other pattern, make the fa'in lam kalma according to the root letter you're doing, and then see if there is some change that is appropriate to make.
When do we have the instrument?
For
All the time.
example, fataha
Yeah.
is to open.
Okay.
Miftahun is the key which opens,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So mi'adun or mi'adun or mi'adatun can be the time or place where a promise is made. Sorry, instrument with which a promise is made. I went to Ism Zarf.
The
Okay. So the instrument
Okay.
used to make a promise.
Mm.
So our Missal Vavi Sarf Saghir is finished.
Okay.
Some of the practice words that you can try is, I'll give you the masdars too. So let me just see in the dictionary. Wajada, yajidu. Then you have wujudan wa jidatan. This is to find. Then you have walada,
Yalidu.
yalidu. I'm getting the wiladatan.
Lidatan.
Wa, yes, excellent. Lidatan. To bear a child or to give birth. Okay. Then you have wasiqa, yasiqu. So this was Bab Daraba. This was also Bab Daraba. This is Bab Samia. Sorry, Bab Hasiba. Hasiba, Yahsibu. And the masdar is wusuqan wa.
Sikatan.
Excellent. Thiqatan. To place one's confidence.
Vazana was also given, I suppose.
Okay, let me see. Wazana.
Wow, za, noon.
Let me see. Za, noon. Yes. Wazana. Yadinu. And waznan. Wa zinatan. This is also Bab Daraba. Two-way. There are many, many more words. So inshallah, do the surface Saghir and Kabir of all these words. And this will be good practice for Missal Vavi. Mujarrad. Right? Because all of these are 3 letters. Madis. So you see the active past tense, active present tense, the mastar, and the bab and the meaning. These are 6 things that you should know about a fail in order to make the surface agreed and understand it. Any questions so far? Have you written it down?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So we've only got 5 to 10 minutes, and if I start Mazid Fi, then we won't be able to cover anything, and we have to do Mithaal Yahi as well. So inshallah, we'll do that in our next session, and we'll try to start Mazid Fi in Missal Vavi and Yahi as well. So inshallah, practice with these words. If you have any questions, post them in the group, and inshallah, we can discuss them. Okay, so inshallah we'll end the session here and the recording. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan.
Waya.